on the banks of the River Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana. A state in the south of the United States. This city is internationally renowned for its jazz. The famous musicians Louis Armstrong and Sidney Bechet were born here. In Treem, an Afro-American neighborhood. The Bethel Church is full this morning. A funeral service. Terrell Rudolph, 35, was shot dead during a settling of scores encounter. It's a common practice here. Orma, the victim's mother, has been through this before. At least one person dies of a gunshot in the Afro-American community daily.
Whoever believes in me will never die.
Taryn, the brother of the deceased, is a fatalist.
He was murdered in downtown New Orleans, unfortunately. You know, I mean, there's murder rates going on around the city, around the United States, but, you know, that's an unfortunate situation. But he's in a better place, that's what counts.
According to a nearby Caribbean tradition, funeral ceremonies ought to be joyful. The funeral procession turns into a celebration. Dance, jazz, and alcohol follow the dead on his last journey. Even Horma, the mom, started dancing. With this little boy, the victim's son.
You know, we don't like boring films. We like to send out people out the right way, you know? That's right.
Men turn the coffin 3 times over itself as tribute in the district of the deceased, the 3rd District. This year, the number of murders in this city increased by 30%. New Orleans is one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. It is also known to be the most festive. Moreover, it is nicknamed the Big Easy, the Easy City. Hurricane Katrina, which hit Louisiana in August 2005, caused New Orleans to literally sink. Wind gusts of more than 300 kilometers per hour, several meters increase in the level of water. The death toll is about 1,000. Over 100,000 inhabitants are leaving the city. New Orleans was then plunged into poverty.
Houses in this condition, there are 20,000 in New Orleans.
In disaster-stricken areas, crime rates are soaring.
Madam, get away. Get away.
Especially in the east of the city, where murders happen every day.
You live by a gun, you die by a gun, you know?
So, quiet inhabitants like Brannon get arms to defend themselves.
I keep a lot of this stuff handy just in case, again, something crazy happens, active shooter.
A young millionaire, Sidney Torres, struggles to improve security of the neighborhood that attracts tourists. His weapon is little connected electric cars.
It's a drug deal that they said was happening, and that's, you know, I'm looking on the GPS right now to see where the machine is.
Built on swamps, New Orleans is surrounded by alligators. They are more than the population. They are found everywhere.
It's called the death spiral.
Overburdened by violence and poverty, Big Easy is plunging in chaos. In the district of Treem, Taryn welcomes us in his mother's house, in the house where he grew up with his brother who was shot dead.
What's up,
How are
Carl?
you, cousin?
What
What's
you
up?
to?
Terrence's cousin was also affected by the violence.
I'm 60 years old. I lost a son down here in New Orleans. He was 17. He'll be about 38 now.
He was shot?
He was shot and murdered too.
Is this the second murder in your family?
They had several in my family.
How many?
Oh, I couldn't count them right now. About at least, over the years, about at least 12 members of my family, close members, been murdered.
Drug trafficking is behind these murders raging in the city. Like many other young people, Terrence's brother had chosen to become a dealer, and he earned a lot of money.
It was in Miami. And this is on a yacht. So he pretty much lived his life up, you know? For the most part, man, the dude used to clown a lot. You know, he was a real happy person. You know, talk about movies, music, you know, clothes. That's one of the things that we, you know, when me and him was together.
Very fast, the young man got involved in crime. Here, most offenders are armed.
Blacks got a lot of guns, and they be shooting, you know, blacks shoot each other. You look around, you don't see no other group of people shoot each other, you know, and a lot of times for nothing. So that's something that blacks need to check themselves about, for real.
This afternoon, Terrence is going to the very posh Avenue, Esplanade, at St. Anna Church. This is where an entire wall is dedicated to crime victims committed in the city.
I don't know. That's a lot of names.
On this board, there are more than 300 names for the year 2015 alone. Most of these men and women were shot and killed, and they are under 30.
Well, that's a cool idea to give some type of commemoration to the people that lost their lives in the city.
Bill Terry, the priest, came up with the initiative to write these names on the wall of his church.
And we decided that naming the names of murder victims in a public display would be helpful in reminding us all that these are human beings.
This morning, he'll add 5 new names to his memorial, including that of Terrence's brother. There are so many victims that there is no time to engrave them.
You were shot in September.
America raised off of violence. It's not just poverty. Poverty is one of the reasons. Look at the movies in America. Look at all the stuff that goes on in this country. So all of that equates to the violence. It just adds on to it.
The last name the priest adds is that of Terrence's brother.
We pray for everyone that gets shot in our city on Sundays. We name them during our worship service.
Bill Terry started writing these names in 2007. Soon there won't be enough space on these walls to write the names of new victims. At the same time, east of the city, a young man was just killed. It's another drug settlement. The police swamped the neighborhood. Local television journalists are already there.
Police confirmed a 4-year-old boy was hit by gunfire inside a house.
A young cousin of the victim received a stray bullet in the arm.
Also admitted to him having a gun as well when multiple witnesses...
The attack was carried out on the young man who was leaving his house. There are cartridges on the ground, bullet holes. The neighborhood is in shock. The victim's mother is devastated.
This is my son. This is him. He's 18 years old, handsome young man. Soon as I go inside, my child gonna kill. And the boys just shot up my sister's whole house and a bullet in my purse. The purse was in my hand, and they shot my little baby nephew, 4 years old, in his arm. I just want to see my baby again. I'm never gonna see my baby no more. It's all. I done saw my parents cry every day.
This is my brother.
Oh, stop picking it up, child.
I can't. I'm keeping it.
Rings.
My boyfriend found it in my 80 house. He found it.
They don't even do the right
They didn't even do the right thing. They ain't do no justice for my brother.
The murderers are said to be neighbors of the same area.
It's unbelievable, bro.
Could you identify the killer?
You know,
Do you know the guy he killed?
yes, all my nieces and my son them know him because from Miller Park.
Jacob lives just across the victim's house. He is also a drug dealer. What happened today doesn't surprise him any more than that.
Most people of my age looked up to him because it was a street life. How he handled himself, how he carried his gun and everything. But it just wasn't about that, you know. But what you do, calm as a bitch, comes right back to you. Well, you live by a gun, you die by a gun, you know.
In black neighborhoods like this one, 40% of children live below the poverty line, and the unemployment rate is twice as high as in the rest of the city. These inequalities created racial tensions. On the other side of town, in the upscale neighborhood, Taryn is stopped by a young woman.
They're doing a piece about New Orleans.
She accuses him of speaking with white journalists.
Do you live in this area?
Yeah, I stay in that. I'm from here.
And you helping them out?
Right. I mean, hey, what you mean helping them out in terms of what?
In terms of bringing more of them out here. Historically, it's the oldest black
Hey, I'm totally aware of that.
Because this, you helping them bring more white people over here, and then it's not going to be no place for
Okay,
black
so
people.
this is a mixed neighborhood, you know? So it's not just for...
They got a whole country. We don't have nothing.
You have,
we got one little neighborhood,
Check this out.
and now they're making
Check
this
this out.
video,
Check
and
this
it's going to bring more of them
All right,
over
check this
here.
out.
And
All right,
we're
check
not going
this
to
out.
have nowhere
Answer
to
this
go.
question. What you talking about?
Black neighborhood.
All right, answer this
Think
question.
for yourself.
Answer this question.
Think for yourself.
Okay, I hear you.
For your people.
Okay, can you
This is
answer this question
ours.
since you answered?
You bringing more of them, and we're not going to have nothing. Gone slave, gone in the plantation. Separation is our salvation. That's the only way we can get them to stop killing us. Devils.
What?
The black man is God.
This woman is a member of the Islamic Nation,
You the devil.
a radical Muslim organization that advocates the supremacy of black men. In New Orleans, 2 centuries of slavery left scars, still present in the black community. It represents 2/3 of the city's population. Above all, Afro-Americans consider saying they were abandoned during Hurricane Katrina. In 2005, under water pressure, dozens of poorly maintained levees were blown up. The muddy waters then flooded 80% of New Orleans, located below sea level. Even today, the city bears the stigmata of this disaster, especially the less privileged neighborhoods. Aaron the Dancing Man lives here. It is one of the areas most affected by the hurricane. According to him, nothing has been done to rehabilitate the area.
How you like this? This is the kind of stuff right now that you still find 10 years after Katrina. This is only one of about 20,000. You got 20,000 structures like this in New Orleans.
Birthday.
20 years
Homeless, but I'm still beautiful.
To Aaron, it is these abandoned areas that favor the manifestation of delinquency.
This is predominantly black neighborhood and high crime neighborhood. What kind of crime? Anywhere from drugs, and wherever you got drugs, man, there's murder. African American people being frustrated with the situation of the country, no jobs, no food, If you're not eating, oh man, what a situation. They will go to the extreme. The hungry people will go to the extreme.
Since the hurricane, crime has increased by 40%. On the other side of the city, the atmosphere is different. Louisiana is a former French colony and the most touristic site in New Orleans. It's the French Quarter. Here every night, tourists from all over the world come together to party. Lots of alcohol, drunkenness, and excesses of all kinds. Of course, also, jazz is everywhere here. Bars everywhere, with dance floors.
This band, boys, is going down. We go hard and go loud. Look, this thing over here.
The atmosphere is hottest in nightclubs. For the past 2 years, violence has been rampant here too. In June 2014, a settlement of scores resulted in 1 death and 9 injured, right in the heart of the French Quarter. Another night, a man tried to kidnap a drunken young lady. A bystander tried to get in the way, but the man pointed at him a submachine gun. Despite his pleas, he shot him in the stomach and tried to take him down for good. Miraculously, his gun jammed, so he ran away. The young man survived. The armed robber, Huracan, aged 21, was already guilty of rape and robbery. He was arrested 2 days later. At night, this type of robbery is increasing, especially in restaurants, that are becoming the new targets of offenders. Lopadoas, a posh restaurant with an original name from us. 6 months ago, Leon Tuze and his team were victims of a robbery.
It's Lorenzo, general manager.
Hello.
4 in the back, probably 4 or 5 up front, you know.
Oh, how you doing,
And this
Mr.
is
Leon?
Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
The restaurant was full that day, just like tonight. The video surveillance system recorded the entire scene. There were 3 robbers.
One guy came in, and maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds later, 2 guys came in behind him. The first guy walked past you, and the second guy who came in started telling everybody to get on the ground. So the first guy came and beelined it to here, to get to the register, to right here to open the drawer. And then the second guy put a gun in his head, made him go to the ground.
They kept, this is not a joke. Remember what else? Get on the fucking ground, don't fucking move.
Leon was carrying a gun, but he chose not to use it that night, presumably avoiding a bloodbath.
It's the threat of being shot or killed. It's not a wallet, it's not a cell phone, it's not money, it's not stealing my car. It's someone gets shot, and there's no other option.
No. It's a difficult issue, though, because I'm not for it, but in a milieu like this where there are so many dangerous people with guns, it makes sense for people to own guns to protect themselves.
In the United States, arms are a sensitive topic. Are they used for protection, or are they guilty of the increase in deaths from bullets? At least in New Orleans, more and more inhabitants have chosen to arm themselves. Like Brannon, 40, a former police officer. He doesn't leave his house without real artillery.
Then I have my main gun that just goes right here on my waistband. All the medical it has in it is really very simple. It just has what we call combat gauze. This particular gauze has a hemostatic agent. And I keep one of the knives on each side. They both have this wave opening feature, which imagine my pocket here got this little hook. As I go to pull this out the pocket, this little hook catches the inside.
Having two
of the
knives
pants
helps me to
and it
defend
opens
myself if I am
automatically as I
attacked
pull
from
it
both
out.
sides
So
at the
I
same
can defend
time.
myself from either side. Maybe I'm pushed against a wall on this side and I'm not able to get to this knife, so I can get to this one, or vice versa.
Like most residents in New Orleans, Brannon was traumatized by Katrina. At the time, he was still a cop. He had to deal with chaos.
It's because if you look right there's the Mississippi River. This is all part of the levee system. There was a breach in the levee where one of the oil tanker barges hit it. And then with that, there was some oil. So it was really nasty down here.
What especially shocked Brannon was the attitude of some police officers during this disaster.
When you have adversity at the level that Katrina was, that's when those true colors start coming out. I brought some family members to Dallas to evacuate, and when I was coming back into the city, in Dallas, Texas, I had NOPD units passing me leaving the city. Now we're very low on manpower, dangerously low, not only for the citizens, but for the department themselves. I mean, these guys are, we get more and more people shooting at police. It's just, I'm seeing more of that than I've ever seen before.
Obsessed with security, he turned his car into an armory.
I keep a lot of this stuff handy just in case, again, something crazy happens, active shooter. As a concealed carry permit, I also keep a rifle. This is actually technically a pistol, but I keep something that's a little bit bigger, and then I keep additional ammunition, as well as a body armor, medical equipment, the stuff that I would typically need if, say, an active shooter at a school or something like that. And then I also just keep kind of general preparedness stuff, vehicle maintenance stuff, tools, things for spare, flat tires. Water, fluids for the vehicle, general maintenance stuff that, probably everybody should have in their vehicle.
After he left the police, Brannon chose to open a gun store. Here you can find everything from automatic guns to Kalashnikovs.
A red dot? Is there really? No. How far is the range on that? Oh, it's long. Is it? It's a laser. Yeah? Yeah, let's go.
A little bit.
With insecurity around the corner, Brannon's business is booming, especially since in Louisiana, the sale of arms is free.
Cool. Let us know if y'all need anything. I won't bug y'all.
I heard you were saying you have guns,
I have a Glock 42.
and you carry it with you?
Yes.
You have it on you today?
Yep.
Can you show it to me? So you feel in danger?
Yeah.
In this city, guns are proliferating. Their sales have doubled in the last 10 years. In New Orleans, a man found another solution other than weapons to defend himself against crime. In the heart of the French Quarter lives Sidney Torres, a young millionaire aged 40. He made a fortune collecting household waste.
I need to try to get this deal wrapped up today. Billy had told you to get a quote on $890,000 for a million.
His house has been robbed several times, so Sidney decided to invest part of his fortune in the safety of the French Quarter. He created an application unique in its kind. It allowed you to send in real-time information to police officers in the neighborhood.
You see something that looks suspicious, prostitution, drug dealing, you see somebody getting robbed, You take this out and you can take a picture and send it, and it goes directly here. It's like having a police officer in your pocket. Yeah, hold on one second. This is a crime, just came in over the radio. And you see, they sent a picture here. You see, suspicious person, Dolphine and Governor Nichols, and they took a picture of him. See him on the corner. You see him on the ground. They act like they're sleeping, but they actually rob people when you walk by.
His idea is provoked by the war he fought against the mayor of New Orleans. He publicly
Sheriff.
accused him of not doing enough to stop crimes.
I tried to get a meeting with the mayor and he wouldn't meet with me, so I made a 30-second commercial and I started putting it all over the TV, calling the mayor out on the crime in the cities.
The French Quarter is under siege by criminals. The problem can be fixed. It is only 6 blocks by 13 blocks. You may ask what qualifies me to
In this
comment on
video,
crime
the
in
millionaire
French Quarter.
offers to
I'm a
clean up his
resident,
town from
and my
crime,
company
just
cleans
like he
every
did with
inch of the
waste.
neighborhood. I my hand.
For
We
the
should
current
hold the
mayor,
administration
this is a real
accountable for the failure
provocation.
of not protecting the French Quarter.
It got
And
him
so he
upset,
didn't like
and
it,
he answered
and he
me
took
on
offense
TV.
to it.
He made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of garbage contracts in the French Quarter, and maybe he should just take some of that money and do it himself if he thinks it's so easy. It's just not.
Sidney took him at his word and invested several hundreds of thousands of dollars to create the French Quarter Task Force, a unit that works directly with its application.
Quarter Task Force. You download it and you're able to connect with police directly. This was something that was launched just days ago, and tonight, businessman Sidney Torres.
Today, the young millionaire has become a star in the American media.
Black is beautiful. As you can see, I have white, black, gray, white, black, and gray, and blue. Are they ready? Yeah, cool.
This afternoon, he'll give another interview for TV. He has become a benchmark in the fight against crime.
You know, it's not just throwing people in jail or arresting our way out of it. It's not going to happen. We have to have programs set up that the mayor, the city, the citizens work together.
He's in such high demand because his application is a success. In his neighborhood, the crime rate has dropped by 45%.
Okay.
23 o'clock at the French Quarter police station. Police officers on duty are using the Sidney app.
Yeah, no problem. You're going to be 1842 BP2. Okay.
Franklin has been working all day as a municipal police officer, but in the evening, he chose to extend his day in the unit that uses the Sidney app.
My regular shift was 2:25 to 11 o'clock p.m. And I go from start at 12 a.m. to 6 in the morning. Long day, but it's worth it in the end. There you go.
These extra hours are paid by the millionaire. Before leaving, police officers of the intervention force recover their equipment. These tablets with the application. And these little electric cars. Once the application is activated, they head to the French Quarter. Sidney Torres is having supper on a terrace with his son, but it's still plugged in his cell phone.
Drug dealing, Decatur and Esplanade, right here.
Through this application, witnesses have just reported the presence of dealers out of this bar.
It's a drug deal that they said was happening, and that's, you know, I'm looking on the GPS right now to see where the machine is, because the machine should be on its way right now.
Less than 3 minutes after the alert, the cart is already on site. But the dealers just left. At the police station, Joe is in charge of dispatching alerts received on the application.
Okay, call me as soon as you do.
He just received a disturbing message and a photograph.
What's the problem with him? Look at his hand.
Yeah.
He's probably carrying. It's hidden in his pants. Other guys carry guns in their pants.
It's hot out here. Look at him with a long sleeve, heavy duty shirt to cover up. So our guys look at those pictures and would probably determine that if they found that guy, to approach with caution.
2,200 hours, according to one of the drivers who was, I don't think he found it.
He immediately sends a car to the scene, but the man has slipped away. A few weeks later, this man, spotted thanks to the app, will kill in cold blood the bouncer at a nightclub in the French Quarter. Terry Market is his name. Age 22, he will be arrested for murder a few weeks later. With the numerous alerts received this evening, Joe decides to support his troops on the ground.
Received a text stating that an unknown subject was held at gunpoint for drugs at 933 Orleans.
Somebody being held at gunpoint.
We got a text message on the app. It reported a man threatening another with a gun.
Joe decides to keep an eye on the small streets that border the French Quarter. This is where offenders often flee.
Folks that are hanging out on the side, everybody on both corners, this is why we make continual passes.
Men with suspicious behavior and prostitutes can be seen here. All kinds of wildlife that doesn't seem to like the officer's presence.
I'll send the task force guys over there.
Think they're looking for trouble, these guys?
Well, he's not up to any good, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's right here that a man was beaten up and ripped off a few days earlier under the indifferent gaze of prostitutes.
Welcome to New Orleans.
Mounted police, municipal police, state police, intervention forces. Everything is done to ensure that these tourists can party safely. Each year, they bring in $6 billion to the city. The New Orleans youths prefer to have fun in a different way, and completely illegally with these car races on an avenue under construction. Clay is 24. He never misses a run.
Every Sunday of every week, pretty much. Want to? All right. That's it. We just race people. Like I don't know this guy, completely stranger. Just ask him to race and we just race.
Every weekend, a dozen of them are looking for excitement and speed. Girls are also part of the game.
When my brothers were coming up, it was like, you're gonna race, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. It's in your blood. But me, as a female, they were pissed off when I came home with my car. I bought it, cash money up front. This is mine. I don't need anybody to help me pay for it. It's mine.
In just 200 meters, her speed increases up to 160 kilometers per hour. It's not enough to win the race.
Fucking beat me. It's the way it goes.
These runs are the outlet for youths in New Orleans.
New Orleans is awesome, man. New Orleans the best place in the world. Come holler at us.
When the police arrive, Everyone runs away, and that's also part of the game. Law enforcement doesn't even bother prosecuting them. The youths find themselves a kilometer away, in the parking lot of a bar.
But this is like a little chill thing. And that's basically it. Everybody just drive through on a Sunday, and we chill, get drinks, and that's about it.
Private area right here. This is a private area, private businesses that they do not respect. Make sure and let them know that. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
we have the two sides of the story.
Yeah. But it's a chill thing. They rather you be out here killing and stabbing and shooting instead of just chilling and laid back. No drama, you know.
Yet, a few hundred meters away, a young man aged 24 has just lost his life. He came up the curb too quickly.
Went over the bridge, bounced on the ground, and bounced under the train. Now he's dead. It's over.
It was a motorcyclist who was on speed.
He can't be dead. What happened? Somebody flew over the thing.
15 meters below, the body of the motorcyclist lies. It was thrown under the train. He died on the spot. Every year in Louisiana, more than 700 people are killed on the road, mainly youths. So every night, sheriff's units get tired. This young driver, aged 23, has just passed them at 170 kilometers per hour. She doesn't look in good shape.
Okay, you got it? Are you done the test or you want to keep going? Oh, ma'am, I need you to complete the test.
I'm not that drunk.
You're not that drunk?
I live like right over the bridge.
You can't even stand up straight right now.
No, I really
And
can't.
the smell of liquor coming off your breath right
But I
now
can
is...
stand straight.
I understand you stand up straight, but you can't stand straight without wobbling back and forth. Okay. I need you to come back over here, ma'am. We're going to go right back in front of the police car.
The young woman is immediately arrested, and she is at great risk. In the United States, drink driving is severely punished.
DWI first offense, it carries a bond of $7,500. So since she failed a field sobriety test, she's going to get charged with DWI first offense.
Off to the county jail. Lieutenant Lauren Puos is in charge of her incarceration.
There you go. You got a little more. So you had 3 times over the legal limit. No matter what the outcome is.
I was like this close, like being from home, like it doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter. You're behind the wheel. You almost struck this officer's vehicle, you passed him up.
The young woman then tries to bluff.
I've never had a run-in with law. Like,
But
this is
normally.
like, this is all the first
Well, I
time.
gave you a speeding
No.
ticket before. I know you remember me giving you a speeding ticket. But think about it. You see a cop
No,
with
you're
average,
right. No,
and you
you're
hit your
absolutely
brakes.
right.
And you flew past him doing 100-some miles an hour. You know? So, I mean, you can actually kill somebody.
She is sent to prison. Either she pays a $7,500 bond, or she stays there for at least a month awaiting her judgment. As for the sheriff's men, this night is one of the most dangerous of the year.
They're thinking he's a 10-15, and he may not be, so...
It's July 4, the national holiday in the United States. Paul Adams was the head of the units on patrol that evening. He doesn't trust firecrackers and fireworks.
Some of them pretty hard. hard to distinguish. Especially if you're rolling in these areas, that you would kind of trying to be on guard for anything, because people do tend to pull shotguns out, rifles out, handguns out, and fire them off. So it makes everything a little bit more dangerous when you're rolling into specific areas.
His radio tells him that a man refused to stop at a traffic stop. He ran away and may be armed. A roadblock is set up to try to stop him. A harrow is thrown on the road. The fugitive has just fallen into the trap. A team of sheriffs is after him, quickly joined by 5 other cars.
The front tires are blown. We're waiting for him for his vehicle to stop being in motion.
So that's the car in front of us over there?
Yes, that vehicle with the black car in the front, the Tahoe. He's almost done.
Yeah, he's about to.
A few hundred meters later, the vehicle stopped. The police quickly subdued and handcuffed the driver.
Check the car, check the car.
One in custody.
On his way to the hospital.
Which way's the hospital?
Passed up the hospital. I know. Because they told me they was on a new road. I was going to turn around.
His arrest caused a crowd of neighbors. Everyone knows him here. It's his neighborhood.
But he was wanted already, that's why.
What kind of guy is he? Is he a cool guy?
Mm-hmm. But he kind of messed up. He was on medicine.
Oh, he's on med.
Mm-hmm. His mind ain't right.
Get in there.
The woman pushed back earlier is the mother of the fugitive. She is trying to plead her case to Paul Adams.
All he wanted to do was see me in the front of him, because I was talking to him the whole time. He's terrified. So I just want to thank him for not getting shot up or anything else like that.
We ain't here to hurt nobody.
Well, no, I understand that, but you don't.
Give me her. We ain't here to hurt nobody, okay? You got me? Yeah.
In the United States, Afro-Americans are scared of law enforcement. Police violence against them is commonplace. As for Paul Adams, he is proud to show us all the offenders his service arrested the day before. Right before they are judged, their photo is published by the local newspaper.
St. Charles. These are people who were just arrested. So they actually put it out there.
Are there any that you stopped?
I'm sure I've been involved with some of them that, Latroy, yeah. A couple of them. This guy here.
Which one?
This one here.
Yes.
You arrested him?
I've been involved with him as far as my guys. See here? I got my finger? Yeah. Dealt with them. This guy here, I've dealt with this guy before. Dealt with a few of them.
20 arrests in 24 hours. There are other offenders that the sheriff's men are arresting. They are wild and live in swampy areas that surround the city. This evening, Lauren Goose is taking care of it. They are the alligators.
That's what they call a death row right there.
This young specimen was found in front of someone's garage.
See what I'm talking about? How the little ones, they get angry? So you're going to let them settle down for a little bit?
Instead of handcuffs, a few turns of adhesive tape are required.
What we're doing, just tying his legs together, then that gives us more control of him. Like I said, his mouth is taped. He's gonna come back after you a couple times. You just gotta watch the tail. The tail is the strongest thing.
In the patrol car, the young alligator takes the prisoner's seat. He will be released with his congeners who are swarming around the area.
Yeah, here they come. He's probably 8-9 foot. Counted 17 of them.
New Orleans is the land of swamps, also called bayou. Alligators reign and are supreme there. There are over 2 million of them here.
Oh, it's all right, little mate. Wait.
Look, there you They all coming in. See, look, see them all coming in? They're not gonna mess with the big one. That one right there, we won't attempt to catch one like that. He's too big. Usually they shoot him.
In New Orleans, there are more alligators than people. In the bayous, they are everywhere. So each year, hunting them is authorized for 1 month. This morning, Charlie, 55, is preparing to kill a few of them. He is an alligator hunter by profession.
This is my rifle. It's a 7-mag, Remington 7-mag, and this is only if we need it for some big gators that might be free swimming that we can't get to. So we'll reach out and touch them with this one.
He'll put his boat in water a few kilometers away in the middle of swamps. Here, we find the highest number of alligators in the entire United States. For his short trips in fresh air, Charlie is always accompanied by his son Bob.
I'd much rather the country than the city any day. I worked in a lot of big cities, and nothing there but cement and mad people. People don't know how to be nice.
Charlie discovers the traps set the day before. Alligators are attracted to a piece of meat hooked on a big hook.
Pull that crap out. Pull that cane pole. Oh.
Today, a small specimen was taken. But he's pretty tough.
Right behind his eyes.
He's 6 foot, 6.5.
Yeah, he might make 6. We're gonna take it and clean him up and eat him. Sell the hide. Well, this one here might sell for $200.
Alligator hunting can bring big returns, but it is highly regulated.
This is the tag. Louisiana basically got to have enough land to be able to get tags that I lease along this river here. It's 5,000 acres. And out of that, I get 30 tags.
That day, they caught 2 alligators. The hunt was good. Back home, Charlie prepares a typical New Orleans dish: fried alligator.
This is the little tenderloin I cut out of the tail meat. This is a muscle that controls the tail of the gator to make him swing it like this.
It has the texture of chicken with fish flavor. On Charlie's t-shirt is a skull and an M16 gun.
What is writing on your cup?
A Christian motorcycle gang that believes in God.
Charlie also believes in the freedom to own guns.
There's not a crook or a thief or a murderer that leaves his house that ain't carrying a gun or some kind of weapon that he's ready to take and steal, you know, or whatever he needs to do to get what he wants. So when you take it away from me, then how can I protect myself? How can I protect anybody? A gun don't kill. It's the person using a gun.
In New Orleans, nearly 80% of murder victims are killed by bullets.
Thank you, Father. We ask you to bless this food in the name of Jesus Christ. Let it nourish our bodies and bring us stronger and closer to you, Lord, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Back to the city in New Orleans in the Black District of Triemi. We meet Aaron, the dancing man, in his home. He is preparing for a festive event here, a funeral.
Everything has to be looking really nice because the people that I am giving the funeral for deserves the best of dignity.
Aaron has been setting the pace for 30 years to the orchestra that always accompanies funeral processions.
As long as America has been America, we have been putting on this jazz funeral. So it is a tradition that is very much respected.
For the occasion, he is wearing a black suit. And for his hair, he needs help.
Chanel! Come on, you gotta help me, man. You gotta help me get dressed and get out of here. I got to go to the second line.
It's his wife who does it.
So enough of that. Woo!
You always help him? Yeah, always.
It's the owner of the local funeral homes who is being buried today. Right behind the coffin are Aaron and the musicians. These women dancing are the daughters of the deceased. For once, the man who died was not murdered. He died of old age. Aaron, the dancing man, sets the tempo for the ceremony. These festive funerals have become all too common here. New Orleans is going through an unprecedented crisis. Every day, young people are shot.